Welcome to the Richard Lloyd USA YouTube channel. I'm Richard Lloyd. Today I'm going to be making a video on creating a USB DOS bootable drive. So what I'm going to do is take this 4 gig thumb drive. I'm using 4 gigs because it's the smallest I could find. You could probably use smaller, but regardless, it's 4 gigs. And I'm going to be using it to create a bootable drive for an old legacy system or anything that you need to boot to DOS from. Now, you're going to need, of course, the thumb drive. You're also going to need some software, which I'll show you how to get. As well, you're going to need a laptop or PC that has a USB port that will allow you to boot from. Now, I've got a laptop I'll show you this on. I also have a legacy PC as well that it will work on as well. But I'm going to keep it brief and just use the laptop. And basically, why would you want to do this? Well, maybe you need a DOS utility and you have no way of running it because, let's say, you don't have a floppy disk or something like that. Regardless, this will get you to a C prompt in DOS on your computer. And from there, you can run a BIOS flash program or a DOS game if you want to play that, or any other DOS program that generally runs from a C prompt. Okay, and I will show you how to set this up and do that quickly. And thank you to Charles Fountain. He's at Charles Fountain 3946 on YouTube. He pointed out to me that my old video was using a utility that no longer works. We'll use a utility that works in this video. It's called Rufus. So let's get down to it and create this DOS boot drive. All right, here we are on my desktop. I have Google up, using Chrome. Use whatever you want for a browser. Do a Google search for Rufus. So we're just going to hit enter here. There we go. Yeah, of course. It's going to be difficult. There, Rufus. Rufus, create a bootable USB drive the easy way. All right, create bootable. So click on that. Scroll down to Rufus 4.9 EXE here. That's the one I'm using. You can use a different one if you wish, but this is the one I'm using. It's the one that works for me. Click on a download, or just click on it and it will start a download. Here, it's going to go to my downloads folder, but here I'm just going to use or create a Rufus directory so it's easier to find and everything goes in there. There we go. Hit save. Over here, we'll open show in folder. You can get there anywhere you wish, but I'm just doing that. Show in the folder. There's Rufus. Double click it. Click yes. And there's Rufus right here. This is the Rufus program. We've got the 4 gig drive already plugged in, USB thumb drive. If you don't have it plugged in, plug it in now. It will recognize it. Just hit the drop down. You'll see it. Here we're going to choose boot selection. And then scroll down to MS-DOS. There's FreeDOS here. I don't know what the difference is, but I'm going with MS-DOS. There we go. And everything else, just leave it the same, right? Just leave it to the defaults. Hit start here. Warning, all data on the 4 gig drive will be destroyed. So yeah, if there's data on your 4 gig USB thumb drive or whatever size thumb drive you're using, make sure you get it off if it's important, because otherwise it will be completely erased by this process. So here we're going to hit OK. Okay, here we're going to hit close. We're done with the Rufus program. I'll close this for now. Now, I'm going to get a couple files to put on to the drive so you can see how it works in DOS. First one's going to be called UniFlash. It's a BIOS program. There, UniFlash BIOS flashing utility. Now, this is a BIOS flashing utility. Don't use this if you don't know what you're doing. It has the possibility of erasing your BIOS, and you don't need that. If you do that, you probably will have an unusable computer after you do it. So this is for people who know what they're doing with BIOS. Like say you were trying to upgrade a BIOS on an old legacy machine, you got no way to get to DOS. Well, now you have a DOS bootable drive. You have a flash program. We're going to download it. It's called UFS 140 zip. I'm going to download it here to the Rufus directory. And I'm going to take all these numbers. I don't know why they do this. 40,000 numbers they have here, probably your revisions or whatever, and take it down to UFS 140 zip. Zip files have to be extracted. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. All right, and just for fun, let's go get a freeware DOS game. There we go. FreeDOS games. I'm going to go with this one. DOS games, FreeDOS games. Here I'm going to put, I like it, we'll go with a Tetris type program, and this one here will do. Okay, and go to here to download the free game. That's what I'm going to do. You can come and do this and download anything you wish. Here it's another zip game, so again I'll show you how to handle that here in a second. Hit save. Now we've got a utility for BIOS flashing and a game. So we're going to minimize this stuff, close this off. Go to the download folder, Rufus. So you see that these are zipped, they have a zip on them. All you got to do to unzip them is, excuse me, hit extract all. There we go. And we'll go back here to this one, right click it, and again, extract all. There you go. There we go. So now we have the game directory here and the UFS 140 directory here. We don't want the zips in DOS because yes, you can unzip in DOS, but we're not going there on this one. So I'm going to select this one, hit copy. And over here on the 4 gig drive, I'm just going to paste it. There we go. And I'm just going to, let's take the UFS 140 and do the same thing. We'll copy it back to the 4 gig and just drop it in the root directory, is what they call it. There we go. Now I'm going to rename this because DOS doesn't like long file names. So I'm just going to call it blocks. There we go. So now we have a bootable USB thumb drive with the blocks game and the UFS 140 BIOS program. Next we got to get it to boot. So we're going to basically boot this computer, and I'll show you how this computer gets into or gives you the option to boot from a USB thumb drive. Yours may or may not be different, more likely is. And I'll show you how the laptop also has to be configured for this to boot from a USB thumb drive. Again, different PCs, different ways to get this done. You may have to do some research to find out how to, basically configure your laptop or your PC to boot from a USB thumb drive. Some of them are pre-configured already. You just put the drive in, turn it on, and it will give you the option, or just straight boot from it. So you might be a lucky person and get that. But regardless, next thing we're going to do is boot into DOS with this thumb drive plugged into one of the USB ports. Now, on the USB ports, I generally choose if your laptop has 2 or 3, it doesn't work on the first one, try all of them. Some of them are configured to do it, some are not. On your PC, plug it into any of the USB ports on the back of the PC. Those are straight into the motherboard. They should work. Notice the word should. So let's reboot it, and I'll show you how I get into mine. All right, if you've ever wondered what the pause key on your keyboard's for, well, that's what I use to stop this boot screen at this point. You hit the pause break key. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's on my keyboard. It's right here. And it gives you can quickly see what's on the boot screen, right? It's a little trick. Not all keyboards have a pause break key either, so you may not have it. But if you do, on boot, if you hit the pause, you'll see all the options. It only gives you like 2 seconds to look at all this, but you'll see that in my case, I have an option for delete, and F8, and Alt F2. Well, I don't want to flash the BIOS, so we're not doing off Alt F2. I don't want to hit the delete to run the setup, because the setup doesn't need to be run. But it's really kind of cryptic in this case. F8 is the button you need to hit to pick your USB. So I've got the USB in a USB port on the machine, and then I'm going to hit F8 here, and you see boot selection pop-up menu has been selected. And now you have two options, either the hard drive or the USB mobile disk, which is what I'm going to do, use the USB. So let's do that. And press any key to boot. And there we go, we're in the C drive, right? Now, this is DOS. So here we're going to type in directory, so dir, and then you see everything that's inside the DOS USB key that we just made. Again, not here to explain DOS or how all this works, just showing you that it does work. Let's change over to the utility, which is UFS 140. So CD is change directory, UFS 140. And by the way, DOS commands and web pages on how to use DOS commands are probably in the millions. So Google it and you can find out all these commands and how they work, and the switches, there's switches with them as well. So CD to UFS 140. There we go. Let's do a dir, directory, and there you go. A little trick too, if you have a long directory and it just scrolls the whole thing by, type in dir /p, and it will stop every page, and then you just hit enter and it keeps stopping every page. So there's a little trick for you. And to run any DOS program, usually you just type in the exe. So in this case it would be UniFlash, and you don't even have to put the exe, just UniFlash and hit enter. And there you go. Here's our Flash utility for BIOSes. Do not use this if you do not know what you're doing. You will definitely, well, not definitely, but there's a good chance you'll cause damage to your computer. So don't do this. I'm just showing you this to show you basically a basic utility in DOS, right? So here we're going to go, okay, let's do something that's safe. Write a backup of the BIOS image to a file. You may want to back up your BIOS. Here I'm just going to enter. It says image file name, backup, bin. Okay, that's fine. Enter. And pretty quiet. You don't really know what it's done, but it doesn't matter. Here I'm just going to quit because I just wanted to show you a DOS program running. Here I'm going to type in dir again. And now you see that I have a backup bin file there, which is a backup of my file of my BIOS. Okay? Again, if you don't know what you're doing with this program, don't play with it. All right. Now CD space ... takes you back a directory. Another one that you could do is CD and backslash like this, and that'll take you back to the C drive as well. Okay. So here we're going to type in dir, and let's go to blocks. Oops. Blocks. There we go. Let's do it right here. Blocks. CD to blocks. Now, you remember that oops, geez, I'll get that right sometime. My apologies. Blocks. Now remember I changed the directory from the long name to a shorter name. That's because DOS doesn't handle long file names very well, and you can play with it, but it's tricky. So here we're in blocks. Type in dir. There you go. We have blocks. Type in blocks again. There you go. And there's blocks. So this is a Tetris type game in DOS. Basic, but fun. If you like Tetris, there you go. Let's start a game. Now, if you want to play DOS games, there's a DOS Win program you can get that runs DOS games inside a DOS window. But I'm just showing you here what you can do with this USB thumb drive. And yeah, other than amazing you with my Tetris skills, you can see that it works. But in DOS Windows, you'll have a better experience because you'll get the sound. Here you don't get any sound because I don't have the sound configured, and it wouldn't be that easy to do, I don't believe. Nor do I have the time or inclination to do so. Okay, like I said, you can play these games in a DOS window with all the sound and everything. Okay. So look for DOS win. Anyway, so there's Tetris, obvious game. And that is, at this point, the high score. Hit escape, and we're back to this. Now I'm going to do the CD and the backslash here. You see it brings me right back to C, DIR. There you go. And yeah, that's it. That's how you make a bootable DOS disk, and how you put DOS programs onto it, and how you navigate it a little bit and run it. So I'm assuming that anybody who wants this utility has some clue of what they're doing with DOS. But if you want to learn, this is one way to do it, right? Get into it and yeah, start typing away, right? Let's try something here, just for kicks. Let's see if they put the edit command in here, just for fun. Nope, they did not. So usually DOS has an edit command. You can look at the files, but they've skipped on that here. So again, that's for another day. I may show you how to make a actual DOS disk boot disk, which would be disk number 1, but that's for another day. Right now, this is it for the example. Here you just use, if you want to reboot at this point, just hit Control, Alt, and Delete. The keys, Control, Alt, and Delete, and your PC should reboot. And mine takes a bit to do the reboot, but you know, regardless, it'll reboot. I'll pick it up on the other side. Okay, on my laptop, I had to hit F10. So the function 10 key as I turned it on. So as soon as you turn it on, you have to start tapping on the function 10 key, and you get into the BIOS setup utility, which is this one. I'm going to scroll over, use your arrow keys to scroll. We're going to boot options, and in here, just hit enter, and you'll see legacy support. Now this was turned off, so it was in this state when I got in here, and it needed to be changed to this state, which is legacy. It says, yeah, changing these settings doesn't do anything to my computer, but it might to yours. So like I said, I'm not responsible. This is your experimentation. You're on your own on this. You say yes. So I say yes. And legacy allows you to choose the USB thumb drive to boot from. Otherwise, you cannot, right? And it makes sense because it's a security feature, right? So here, we've changed it to legacy support. You're going to hit the F10 key again. You see at the bottom, F10, save and exit. So we hit that. Exit saving changes, yes. And hit OK. And then as soon as I do this, I got to hit the F9 key. The F9 key gives me the boot options. Okay, so here I'm tapping on the F9 key as the computer is booting. And then you'll see the boot options here. And mine, and yours probably too, it's a USB hard drive, USB 2 mobile disk. It might have been a USB 3. It doesn't matter. It is the USB hard drive or the USB mobile disk, right? Here we're going to hit enter. And you'll see the DOS screen. So basically on the laptop, it's F10 to enter the BIOS. Change the boot order from to legacy, from disabled, and then save that. Reboot the computer, hit F9. This is an HP laptop, right? Works on this one. It's different on a lot of computers all the way around. And then with the F9, you choose the USB, and here you are. And if I do a CD to blocks at this point, blocks, there we are. Do a directory. You see it. If I type in blocks, the Fun Blocks game will come up. And continue on here. And here you start a game. And then you get to play your game. All right. It's simple as that. Basically, it's different from the other computer, like I said, and it differs from computer to computer how you boot off the USB thumb drive. So you have to do some research if you don't. These two systems don't work for you. Okay. So good luck. That's my video. If you like my video and it helped you out in some way, do me a huge favor. Give me a thumbs up here at the bottom. Give it a like. Also, in the video description below, you'll see links for stuff for hardware and even the software as well. Some of those are affiliate links and they help me out, but they don't cost you any more than it would for you to do purchase directly from from eBay or Amazon. Those are the two affiliates I actually use. And also in the video, in the comments below, leave your questions, your comments, and also video suggestions. I love those. I do make videos from those suggestions, so I appreciate that. Also, if you like this channel and it helped you out in some way, subscribe. And then you'll get a notification every time that I put up a new video, and you can watch it at your own leisure. Once again, and like always, take care of yourself and stay cool.